In my pursuit as a bonsai professional, I dedicate myself every day to perfecting my craft. What can I learn? What can I improve on? How can I express greater elegance and precision in my decision making? In my relentless pursuit of this art and craft, I hesitate to call myself a master, but certainly I'm a professional through and through, conducting both myself and my work at a high level. This question I've deeply considered is how we can evaluate the quality of bonsai. To say beauty is in the eye of the beholder begets ambiguity, but it is also wrong to indiscriminately diminish others. Is there a basis from which not only existing bonsai practitioners, but the general public can discern bonsai that is relatively objective and logical? This question is more important in the bonsai world than we think, and especially in the US where we have a young but dynamic and growing bonsai scene. An interesting statement I once heard another professional say is that if you walk into a bookstore and ask the clerk, "Where can I find books on bonsai?" chances are you will be directed to the gardening section. But is bonsai merely a horticultural curiosity to be placed amongst our heirloom tomatoes and cucumbers? Of course we know this is not the case, and for our impassioned hobbyist base, we recognize bonsai as art. But rather than discussing how we can perceive art, let me share insight through the story of a tree. This Atlas Cedar was originally grown by Si Sheba. I was not personally acquainted with him, so I rather not express over-familiarity, but I acquired the tree from another professional who was. I can only recount a vague description of his character, but perhaps it is important nonetheless. Si Sheba was known to be a pillar in the Northern California bonsai community, both well-liked and respected. He cultivated hundreds of trees in his lifespan and was also a founding member of the public Lake Merritt Bonsai Collection. He provided supplies and pots from his business, and many of his trees spread throughout the community. This Atlas Cedar was one such tree, grown in an interesting multi-trunked form with its beautiful frosted blue foliage. The individual growth layers, expanding outwards with force, creates divisions and cracks. It's a story of decades and likely older than myself. As with life, trees weather the seasons of change as well. At times we are healthy, filled with vigor, strength, and yearning to stake our name. But equally, tragedy can strike. As nurturing are the hands of Mother Nature, they too can be laid firm. And perhaps during turmoil in our lives, we forget that this tree too is subject to her harshness. In 2020, this tree was recovering from a period of neglect. Where branches had once grown in the past has since withered away, and new buds are striving to take its place. Slowly but surely, over these past 5 years, this tree has grown. We cut the branches to guide the tree where to allocate its strength, and wire is cut and wrapped around branches to set form. I think to express the beauty of this tree, age that is real, and branch lines that are old, what I should do to bring forth its quality. It's a careful deliberation, not just an expression of my ego, but to embrace the essence of this tree. Needles are pulled, Branches are cut, lines are wired, and I find what is already there. The practice of bonsai is to embrace a story. It can be a legacy, the raw power and age of a tree, but also it's the time we spend together and the physical embodiment of that. There is some great and meaningful value in the philosophy of bonsai. The work we do is for the sake of the future. It can be something akin to planting a tree whose shade you may never sit under. Let us cultivate bonsai with greater sincerity. Of course, still with technical and horticultural awareness of how a plant grows, but mindful of the long lifespan of a tree and how we choose to embody time.